don't think that
Hello, welcome. Hi. For you.
Oh.
And another. Well, you have to share. That's one share. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Yep. Oh, you're not.
We're just giving it to everybody now.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
Oh,
no, we have a problem with that.
we all know.
Okay.
So it's not supposed to.
That's supposed to be.
What? Okay. Nobody else interested in this extracurriculars? It's good though. It's a good step. It's a great step, actually.
Well, first of all, we want to say thank you to Romeo. I know he and I have been trying to work about a year ago to try to come in and say hello and kind of tell you a little bit about what we do and maybe what would be important to you guys. So let me do a real quick introduction. My name is Eileen Holbrook. I am the branch manager of the Chase office here at Forest Ranch. I've worked for Chase and other branches or other banks before that for 18 years. So I've been in the banking for quite a bit. I started out as a teller, went through everything, finished college, and decided banking was still what I wanted to do. So I'm back here, and then hopefully, from what Romeo had asked, he just wanted us to kind of give you some little background information on maybe like savings accounts, investments, credit cards. Pretty much what's really important to be financially stable and responsible as you grow up and get into college and start taking care of your own finances. And I do know that he was also wanting us to go over student loans. I will say one thing, Chase, we don't offer them anymore. And when we did, it was pretty much on a back office level. So I don't have too much information on that. What I would suggest is definitely in all the colleges and stuff like that, they've got great counselors there to kind of go over everything with you. It's a great opportunity to help you guys, you know, maybe for that supplemental income and to kind of help you guys out and take advantage of some great rates. But I also wanted Raquel, she is my private client banker, and she's going to do a quick introduction so you know what she does at the bank too.
Good afternoon, everybody. As I mentioned, my name is Raquel Feng. I have been with this great company for over 7 years in banking, actually 25. So it's banking is definitely something important we want to incorporate as far as your guys being this young. It is very important to kind of get started a little bit earlier on understanding what all the terms are, because are you guys all seniors or pretty much?
Yeah. You're sophomore.
Oh, okay, well, you're close, right? You're close. So it is important to kind of understand a little bit about, you know, what it's about. I'm actually teaching my 8-year-old already because she thinks this plastic card is just never ending. So we're kind of going over just some basics on, you know, what a bank is and kind of just some simple terms. And then again, very generally speaking, again, we're representing Chase, which is here just in this shopping center in the community, so very close. So if you come by, make sure you say hi to us. And other than that, I'll go ahead and get started.
First of all, I was going to say, because some of this might be really like stuff that you already know. So do all of you guys have bank accounts right now?
Yeah.
Pretty familiar? Okay. So a lot of this might just be review. So what we'll do is we'll kind of just take it page by page really quick. It's very simple. It's not a lot of stuff in there, and then pretty much leave it open to any questions that if you guys may have for us on anything. So since a lot of you guys do have bank accounts, you probably know what banks do. So, you know, we're the business that is able to give you where you can keep your money and you know that it's safe. And then we also offer a whole bunch of different financial services. So a lot of people think, okay, well, a bank is for maybe savings and checking. But as you can see later on, we offer many different services, whether it's for home loans, mutual funds, student accounts, what else? Car loans, lots of different things. So it's not just a place where you would probably put in your paycheck, but a lot of other opportunities there to hopefully make things more convenient for you in your busy lifestyle. So the first thing I was going to go over is a checking account, and I don't know if a lot of you guys may already have one, but we do, and lots of banks do have a lot of students in high school have their own checking account. And then, of course, have your own checking account in college. So it is something that's available to all of you guys. But what it does allow you to do is to pay bills, buy goods and services, either writing checks, which I will say, going forward, you'll probably see less and less checks. Everybody's doing more of innovations like your mobile phone, using ATM, doing direct deposits. So like with Raquel and I, we're seeing less and less people, but we're doing it more over the phone, maybe more on sit-down meetings, so you're not really seeing the person coming in as much just to deposit a check. There's so many different ways to do that now. With, like I said, through your mobile phone, through the ATM. A lot of our customers love the ATM convenience. Everyone's really busy. They don't have time to come in from 9 to 6 to make a deposit. So there's a lot of different avenues, and I think that's one good thing about a lot of the banks is that we know what's really important to everybody as their life gets busy, and so we make our banking to fit that lifestyle too.
Who has checking accounts again? Have you ever written a check?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Discount, none of that?
Yeah. It's rare, but it's still very important because, you know, there's things that are like school events or whatnot that you still need to understand how to write it. Right? So it's still there, but, you know, with, again, today's technology, innovation, that it is just more convenient to use your debit card, right?
And then you'll probably see that you do get a monthly bank statement, and that's kind of changed too. You do get a monthly bank statement. Many of our customers now like to do it electronically. And because it's a safer way, because if we send you out a bank statement, it has like a lot of information. So what's another nice way to receive everything secure is through your computer. And they can do it also by their mobile phone too, which is kind of nice. What about ATM and debit cards? Are you guys familiar with those? The next page, yeah, it's like the easiest way to get money, and it's also a safe way. One thing I will say about ATM and debit cards is we still have a lot of clients that prefer to write checks, and that's fine, we still do that. One thing about the ATM and debit cards is it allows you to use it pretty much anywhere, as long as there's an ATM machine, or a lot of our debit cards have Visa or MasterCard, but also you guys are protected. So if by chance, you know, if you're purchasing something, you use your card and it wasn't you, the nice thing about Chase is that we do back you up, and then we will go ahead and take care of those charges if they weren't you. So it's a nice, safe way of using your money instead of carrying cash too.
Right, so has anybody ever lost cash before?
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't go call someone to retrieve that, right, or you're done once it's lost. But the nice thing is you use your card. If it's not you, just call and then you'll get it.
Yes, we can close it out easily, issue another one on the spot.
How do like overdraft charges work? Like if you aren't like keeping track of your checking account and you like withdraw too much, or
Yeah, that's really important too. Do you want to
Bring it back to basics, actually. So even though it is really easy to use your card and swipe, like when clients come in or new, you know, students come in, I definitely take the opportunity to kind of slow things down a little bit, because you do have to go back to basics with your additions, with any time you put money in your account, and your subtractions where you're going to minus out. I highly always encourage everyone to always ask for a receipt. So that way you're knowing what's going on and you can go in and manage your account, because you're typically still supposed to, you're responsible to manage your account, whereas, for example, like you're saying, an overdraft. So we do charge in the event that you spend more money in certain types of accounts if you allow it. In your cases, there are specialized accounts that are for high school students that doesn't happen, which means that if you don't have money in your account, your card won't allow the transaction to go through, which means you can't buy whatever you're trying to buy.
Mhm.
Yeah, but as you get older, once you turn 18, and then we upgrade your account relationship and you're understanding a little bit more and, you know, feel a little bit more comfortable in how to use the card, and you're for sure proved that you can manage your account, then you can make your decision if you're willing to pay overdraft fees, you know, meaning you're borrowing money from the bank to get what you're trying to get. Did I answer your question?
The nice thing about that though is, like Raquel said, is that if you can keep track of what you have in your account, it will help alleviate any unforeseen fees. The nice thing though is Chase knows this, and a lot of the banks know it. We all kind of do it. We have lots of different products that will help you not get into the overdraft. Whether one way is just declining things. So if you were going to use your card, we would just decline it, so you won't do it. But then there's other ways that we would go about by sending alerts and stuff like that. So yes, it can happen, but we do kind of give you a lot of different ways to prevent them too. And I think that's one thing a lot of people forget to, kind of use Raquel and myself is when you do open up an account, use us as your resource. And a lot of times people just think it's a one-time relationship. We open up your account and that's it, and then we'll see you at another time. But what we try to do at Chase is really develop that relationship, start it from the get-go and kind of continue on throughout the years. And whenever you have problems, hopefully that you will remember us and then that we would go ahead and take care of you when that happens and stuff like that. So it's more of a relationship than just like a one-time thing too, which is kind of nice. I think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, so I was wondering, is there any way to just have the student account or whatever the other version of the account is, where you don't have the I forget what that is called.
Overdraft?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, well, definitely, when you're under the age of 17 or you're still active, you're still in high school, not into college yet, that is the only type of account we can set up for you. It does require that a parent or guardian be joined on the account as well, because they're also watching what's going on and they can continually fund your account as well, or vice versa. So if there wouldn't be any fees. We don't want to set you up for failure. We don't do that at Chase. And like Eileen had said, that we continually try to help you all the time. That's one great thing. So again, we live right there pretty much, that you can come in, call us, any questions you have, if you set up your relationships with us at some point.
So if I'm older than 17, can I also get this option?
Yes. Yep, we've
She's
got
expert
college
on it.
accounts. So once you're, if you're 17 and you're enrolled into a college, if you have a student ID or your acceptance letter to college, then we'll go ahead and open or upgrade your high school checking to a college checking account. And then for the next 5 years, up until age 25, there's still no monthly service fees required, or there's no monthly service fees on the account. A parent is no longer required to be on the account because now you're of age to be able to kind of make those decisions. But that's again a conversation you have with your parents. Then you actually make the decision, because as you're becoming a young adult, you'll decide, yes, I still want to, whatever I'm trying to buy, but I understand I'm going to start paying fees for that transaction to go through. So again, you really have to think, because those fees are pretty substantial, and they're $34 each time. So for you to kind of, most of the time it's a no, don't approve my account, transaction. But again, it's not our choice to make that, it's your choice. Again, after you're at least 17 and older, that we start really having those conversations. Yes.
So down at Arby's Drive, there's a bank, but it's a bank with a C. I don't know if there's an actual difference between a bank with a C and a bank with a K.
Oh, Bank of California?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It was so funny. I know a little bit about Bank of California. But they actually, I think, melded with, not First Citizens, but no, I think they're still FDIC insured, and it's just the name of their bank. I don't want to say they're not in the United States, so I wouldn't say, but I know exactly what you're talking about. But I do know it is a peripheral bank.
It's the same function, just.
Just their brand. Well, I don't know actually, because I don't think there's. So you would have to walk in and find out if are you, the questions that you want to choose depending on. I mean, for the most part, everybody offers checking accounts, savings accounts, but everybody's rules can be different, right? So that's where we're kind of speaking more on behalf of Chase, because we can't speak on behalf of the other banks. There's a lot of banks on that street.
But everything here is pretty general, so if you have any particular questions, just let us ask. We didn't know how in-depth you wanted us to go. But any questions on checkings or debit cards? I think what I will have to admit, though, I do like that they are offering these products to you guys as students, because you guys have part-time jobs, and you guys still probably get to pay a bill or so, and you want to see your money grow and stuff. So it's a great opportunity for everybody to kind of get the responsibility early on and then set those responsibilities, good ones. Another thing that we were going to talk about were savings accounts. So, the checking accounts are great. They're kind of generally for like everyday purchases and so forth. And savings accounts could be for anything that you want. They usually pay interest, a little interest. You can't write checks off of it. And a lot of times when people do savings accounts, it's, a couple different reasons. It could be for a rainy day. It could be for a vacation. It could be for a new computer, something that they're setting money set aside and then wanting to do something with that money, whether it's also just to save, or you never know what a rainy day may happen and you might need the money.
So I was wondering, considering that the interest rate is pretty low, why would anyone put money into a savings account versus a checking account?
I would say a couple things. It just depends on where you are in life. So sometimes, let's just say you were gonna purchase a home. You usually will want to have 6 months of money that you can live off of if something happens and you want it easily available. So it wouldn't be something that you're gonna put in here and hopefully that it grows. It might be just money set aside just in case I need it. So what a lot of people will do is will put some of their money in savings accounts just for the purpose that I can go to the bank and get it out at any time. Whereas we do have other products that will definitely, and you guys are probably pretty familiar with them. Raquel will talk a little bit more about it. She talks to her clients more in regards to like mutual funds, where they're more long-term vehicles to put your money in, but you can have the potential of earning a lot more interest rates. So why somebody would do it, different reasons. A lot of times, sometimes people don't know. Some people honestly don't really care for interest rates and they just want their money easily available. Some people like something I'm gonna say that you might not be familiar with, FDIC insured, that they know the government backs it up. So if by chance, let's just say the banks went under, the stocks went under, whatever money's into a bank, like a savings account that's FDIC insured, you get that all back.
But not in the checking account?
And the checking account too, as
So
long
then-
as it's FDIC insured, yeah.
So if you did want money that is, let's say, just for a rainy day, why would you just stick that in a checking account?
Because,
You
could- you could-
So
that's a good question.
it's a visual sometimes, so you look at it as, okay, I have this much in my checking account, you're about to buy something, it is very easy to say, okay, I have this much. But if you're really, really wanting to put some aside, again, for any particular reason, if again, you want to buy some items for your sports or whatnot, and your parents are not, able to help you fund it with that, you can always just put it aside, because the moment you visually see something in your checking, you're gonna say, I have this much money to spend. It's pretty easy, to when you see that, but when you have it kind of set aside into a savings account, the word saving, that you're actually saving versus just you're spending, being able to spend everything that's in your account. Because you typically won't hold money, and there's no fees. We can talk about that as well for you guys as well. When you're under 18 as a minor, we don't charge any fees or monthly service fees. Interest rates, yes, are low currently. At some point they may go up, but they are relatively low right now. But it is kind of a visual thing. I think that when you know that you have that money aside away from your debit card account, that you'll be able to, you won't easily spend it.
And sometimes it could be a safety measure too, because with the debit cards, if it is lost or stolen and somebody does it, they have more access to those funds. But rest assured, if you never use your card to buy something, you're not going to be responsible for it. But it just becomes more of time consuming, because then you're going to have to wait to get that money back into your account. So sometimes for fraud too, it helps out. But everybody kind of chooses whatever they want. We've got customers that just love it in their checking account because it's simple, it's easy. And then we have some people that, like Raquel says, is like to kind of keep it away so that they don't use it because they are saving it for something.
Yeah, I think you had a question.
So is there like a limit on the types of how many accounts you can open, or like what discourages people from like opening like 50 or so accounts?
You'll get confused.
Sanity? No, there isn't.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a purpose, you know, for example, you purchase a lot of their, you know, your online things, and maybe if you have subscriptions to some type of games or something like that, if you want it completely separate from what you're using, it's really more of what you can handle as far as managing and doing your accounting. But very easily you can get confused. But if you can handle it, nope, you can open as many as you need to. You just got to make sure that you can, you know, mentally handle. Okay, I got this much in this account, but this much in this account. But if there's a good purpose, then yeah. You have like 3 pages. Do you want No. Okay. Any other questions on checking savings accounts? Very good questions, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cover the next 2 subjects, which is going to be about, Eileen had mentioned, non-deposit investment products. I will not go into serious detail, guys, just for our compliance reasons. However, I can generally speak of what they're about. Does anybody have any knowledge of other than savings accounts? Do you guys know if you have any right now? Or your parents kind of do that? That's awesome. Good. Just, you know, a lot of times people don't know that there's different options other than savings account. As the other gentleman student mentioned, why would you want to put money in a savings account with interest rates relatively low? And well, there are different vehicles that you can go ahead that could be risky as far as you could potentially lose money if you put them in there. What we mean by that is when you put money in a savings account, it's going to be there of what you put in and maybe earn a little bit of interest, no matter what the market, the economy is doing. It's just going to be in the bank. However, if you decide that you want to try something different because you're just not happy of earning whatever the interest rate is earning in your savings account, there's a couple of options that you can take the decision to take a risk, we call it a risk, and try other types of saving strategies, and we call them savings options. And these are definitely more long-term. So what we mean by that is if you're looking for maybe as you get older, like future income, or if there's any other financial benefit for you, like saving for a home long-term. Those products that we're talking about are in brokerage accounts. They're not FDIC insured by the government. So meaning that it's not a bank-specific product, but it's held with a brokerage firm. There's still insurance on it, on those brokerage firms. However, it's not specific to FDIC. So with the upside to it, though, is you could actually earn more. You may earn more and grow more than a regular savings because of the risk you take in these type of products. Again, which would be, again, speaking very generally here, so stocks and bonds, mutual funds, U.S. Treasury securities, and retirement investments. So, does anybody know what a stock is?
Yeah.
Anybody own a stock? Yeah?
It's a share of a company.
Wonderful. Yeah, your ownership of a company. So, like for example, let's just say Apple, right? So if you own that, you are basically an portion owner of the company itself, right? So you could put some money specifically in a share of a company, and then you would get any returns or payments as that company is doing well in their profits. That's how you would get some form of repayment. So I guess to make something simple, my sister had bought 1 share of Heinz. Heinz, anybody know what Heinz is? Heinz ketchup, right? She bought it for $20. And every 3 months, there came a check for about 48 cents. But on $20, that's actually a good return if you really think about it, $20. So, I mean, thinking of it as really small, but, you know, kind of neat, kind of get started in. So the value of your investment when you go into stocks is going to, again, go up and down depending on the stock market. And you're going very risky. However, there are some different levels of stocks that you can choose, right? So something like Johnson & Johnson or something, you know they're never gonna go out of business, so you pick something like there, but you're not gonna maybe potentially earn as much versus like a up and coming company or something like, I mean, obviously Apple's really good, but that's a form of investment. Bonds, where you lend money to a corporation or government entity for a certain period of time. And those are purchased again for a certain period of time. If you're committing that you want to give your money to an entity, and then they're going to go ahead and pay you back as that corporation is being developed. All right. Questions so far? I'm gonna skip through a couple of these, but mutual funds is gonna be basically a combination of both. So specifically, it's a product that combines money from many investors to purchase numerous separate types of investments. And the key with this particular type of investment is you're diversified. When we talk about diversified, is you have a little bit in stocks, you have a little bit in bonds, so that you're kind of like taking advantage of the whole thing rather than just putting all your eggs into one basket, per se, into one stock. So you'll have a little bit of more, not as like kind of risky returns where they kind of go up and down like crazy, but you'll kind of see a more of a steady growth as that goes in time as well. Okay. And then treasury securities, again, those are backed by the government, so you know those are pretty safe. So those are, again, things that that are offered through financial institutions. Questions? Yes.
So, like with mutual funds and US Treasury securities, like, do you like purchase those or get those like through like you, for example?
Right, through brokerage firms, yep, and so we offer them through JP Morgan Chase. I mean, there's other brokers. However, everybody can, just like banking, you want to be able to kind of build that relationship with the person, build the trust with them to make sure that they're, you know, it's a right fit, that they understand what your goals are, and that they're always doing the right thing for you. And then the last category that we will talk about is credit, or specifically credit cards. So the little comic is really interesting. So there's somebody that's buying something and they're adding up and it says, well, that'll be $35 for those books and magazines, which is, I guess, relatively low these days, right? But the person didn't actually have the money to pay for it. You can actually borrow money from the bank by using a credit card, but understanding that if you're going to borrow money from somebody, that somebody's not going to let you borrow it for free typically, right? That if you don't pay it back within a certain period of time, like for say I think it's 25 days, you're going to, you know, pay us a fee.
So if I pay within the 25 days, so is there any interest associated or no? So there's not.
As long as you use it to buy something, right? But if you said, I want cash out of this credit card, then no, you're paying interest the day you take the cash out. So we highly discourage that you're going to, but you know, understanding there's, you know, needs, and for whatever reason, nobody asks what do you need this, but the bank will never ask you what are you using your credit card for. You just got to understand that you're going to pay or not pay depending on how you use your credit card. There's all kinds of credit cards out there, and all kinds of credit cards definitely have great benefits. You just got to cater them to what you want it for. Chase has some really great options. But it's actually a good start to, again, being a young adult. Something called a credit report that you want to start building because someday you want to buy your car, or you want to buy a house, and you have to have, just like your report card, right? Your credit report is like is good grades in a sense that you are showing people that you have the financial responsibility. You're financially responsible to borrow money from someone and pay them back on time. And that's pretty much how you're going to build your credit initially, through a credit card. But you always got to pay it back, otherwise you penalties.
So like, would better credit like give you better rates on loans and stuff like that?
Right, yeah, definitely, exactly, great question. So we were just talking about credit report, right? So as long as you're showing that you've had excellent history, that you've always paid your credit card on time, that's gonna give you this score called a FICO score. And there's 3 credit agencies that actually give you FICO scores. So that when you're ready to buy something large purchase, such as again a house or a car, your interest rate that that institution wants to give you will be dependent on your credit report. So you gotta be good about that, because if you you mess that up, then you gotta wait some time to kind of rebuild it. It's rebuildable, but it'll take some time. Questions?
That was our presentation.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, like I said, you know where to find us if you want further more information. Just visit us over here at the branch right next door, literally on the next stoplight over. You guys all live here in the community, or for the most part, yep.